If you could just quickly introduce yourself, what you're about, your platform. I guess we'll start off first with there because we don't know you. My,
Good deal. So my name is Jonathan Jones,
yeah.
and I partner with colleges and universities
Hmm.
by way of working with their student athletes
Yeah.
in the development. So that's one side, and then on the other side, my wife and I have created a platform entitled "Together We Jones," and
Nice.
that's where we've been, documenting our journey from
Yeah.
a little bit after we got engaged to right since we've been married.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm newly married, and it's about to be 5 months here in 14 days. So yeah,
5 months. You're in the honeymoon stage, right? That's what they call it.
yeah, that's what they call it, right? The honeymoon stage. So everything is great. We're continuing to grow, continuing to learn more about each other, and
Yeah. That's exactly. It's a journey. I think no matter how long you are with someone, you're never gonna fully understand them. It's just one day at a time. That love is there, that respect is there, that understanding is there, and you keep it moving. So
yeah.
how can we connect with you if a college is interested in reaching out to you, or if someone wants to sign up to speak with you, how can they reach out and connect with you?
Yeah, so all of my social links are on my website. It's just jonathanjonespeaks.com, and that's Jonathan
Yeah.
JonathanAthan and then jonesspeaks.com. So all of my Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram is all on there. Or
Okay.
if you want to, connect with my wife and I, then you can follow us on Instagram, and the handle is Together We Jones. Together We.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. That's good. I will make sure to attach all those so that people can have the direct linking. I'll type it up so they know where to go to look for it. So I want to first off start by saying thank you for your time this morning. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to interview. My main purpose with these things is just to help other people. That's why I do things. I share people's stories, and I hope people can learn lessons so they can actually succeed and learn from what people are doing, or avoid mistakes so they don't do the same thing. So that's just my that's my ultimate motive, or my why behind why I do this. So thank you so much for joining this. And we're just kind of going to go into the questions. It's just going to be a conversation where you don't feel comfortable answering. You don't have to share as much as you feel comfortable. So the first question is really, what were you looking forward to? What were you excited for before you got married?
Yeah. Well, first I want to say thank you definitely for having me, because this is an opportunity that's always a great opportunity to share about the marriage and about life. So thank
Yeah,
you for that.
definitely.
What was I looking forward to most? It was the fact of doing life with somebody,
Yeah.
and and I didn't really think about this until the other day, until one of my friends he said, John, if you allow it to be, marriage is the best form of personal development
Oh,
that
yeah.
there is.
Big facts.
Yeah, so it was just the aspect of doing life with somebody,
Yeah.
potentially creating legacy with,
Yeah.
with a partner, and then just continuing to grow. And we know that growth sometimes is painful,
Right.
but ultimately, if she's sharpening me and I'm sharpening her, then we're getting stronger together. So
That's true.
yeah,
That's
definitely,
definitely true.
definitely.
What were you kind of nervous about? Because I know everyone has some jitters, especially making such a big commitment as I want to spend the rest of my life with this person.
Yeah.
Sure, it comes with some nerves too.
Yeah. So I would say there's two parts to that. So
Hmm.
one part of it, I was just really nervous about the perception, I guess, that's put on
Yeah.
um, put on the two partners going into a marriage. People are telling you what you're supposed to do in a marriage and what she's supposed to do in the marriage. So one of the biggest things for us, and what we've been doing recently, is just unlearning some perceptions that we thought that we had to subscribe to.
That's
Uh,
good.
yeah, because I mean, people just say that in marriage, these are the roles, but then
Right.
when you get there, you're like, no, this isn't the roles that we've discussed.
Right.
So I would say that was one of the things being nervous about. And then
Yeah.
also the other aspect of responsibility.
You're right. That's a
And
good one.
yeah, there's a level of responsibility that, that's required.
Right.
And So just learning how to accept that level of responsibility. And sometimes I have to grit my teeth because there's some things that need to be done that I don't necessarily want to do,
Right.
but they have to get done for the better of us and for the better of the home. So
Right.
those are two things I would say.
That's definitely like maturity. I definitely feel like in any relationship, it's give and take, and there are responsibilities. And I just think about like, you can't think about yourself anymore. It's like you're thinking about this other person. You have to meet this other person's needs. You have to forget about you almost. And that's hard because I think we're so built by nature. Like we're innately built to think about ourselves. You know, we're innately built to like, I got to
Yeah.
watch my back, make sure I'm taken care of, make sure I'm good. But it's like, no, I can't. And I feel like that's something you have to switch your mind. You have to be intentional daily to choose like, no, I can't just be thinking about me. I got to put this other person's needs first. So
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably one of the biggest things because I mean that's the area I'm definitely still growing in because
yeah.
I'm selfish, just like you're
Oh,
saying.
me too.
Like,
Me too.
oh my goodness,
I'm
it's
selfish
so
too.
easy because you wake up in the morning and then you
Yeah.
might wake up before your partner and then you say, "Wow, I'm hungry." So
Right.
let's go get something to eat because I'm hungry.
Right.
Like they're still in bed, so whatever they got going on, that's
Right.
cool. But I got to eat. But it's about making sure that we eat instead of just me.
Exactly.
So yeah.
That's good. That's good. So, what do you wish you did more of before you got married? What were some things that you wish you would have pursued more, or you feel like you did everything you could have done or would have wanted to do?
Yeah. I want to say I wish I got out more selfishness before I got married because
Yeah.
bringing some of that into the marriage,
Mm,
it's the fact of now it's getting dealt with in real time,
right.
and that hurts more.
Right.
So I wish I got that out before, and then also, so I have student loan debt, and
Oh,
then
me
my
too.
debt has become our debt. So definitely
Exactly.
wishing that I took care of that.
Yeah.
Luckily, we both have our cars paid off.
That's
Uh,
good.
but at the same time, getting that mortgage of a student loan debt taken care of, or at
Yeah.
least get
Bringing
it
it
boiled
down.
down a little bit.
Yeah.
So those would be the biggest ones because financial insecurity and
Yeah.
money management problems are a big cause or a high risk cause for divorce. So
Definitely. That's
yeah.
wisdom. And I hope people hear that because I'm in a relationship right now, but I'm also preparing myself for that. So a lot of these things I record, I interview, I also think about what do I need help with? And a lot of times when you need help in, other people need help in those things
Definitely,
too.
definitely.
And so I figure out what my problem is. I'm like, all right, let's work on this. And then so right now I'm thinking about student loan mortgage. I also owe quite a few amount of money to IRS and the federal
Yeah,
government.
yeah.
So I will keep that in mind. It's important to take care of that debt, because you do bring that in the marriage. And then it's joint responsibility. And then it's almost like you're putting a burden on that person. And you don't
It
want to do
is.
that.
It is. Sadly, yeah, it is.
Yeah. But it's teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work and you make it happen.
This is true.
Did you feel like you were ready? Did you feel
Well, I think that's one of those things, just like in the beginning of the Wale song "Matrimony," and then
yeah.
he's going back and forth with Jerry Seinfeld, and
Hmm.
he explains being ready for a marriage. He says you're never ready. It's like going up on a roller coaster, and then
Right.
it just drops. And I think that marriage is one of those things that you can do all the preparing. It's like
Right.
practice. If you
Right.
play a sport, you do
Right.
all the preparing, but then playing the game is just a little bit different.
That's
So
true.
I think I prepared. I think I prepared fairly
Yeah.
well because I
Yeah.
went through 12-step biblical recovery, like
Okay.
basically biblical counseling.
Yeah.
I was seeing a therapist for like 2 years before that,
Wow. We need
and
more
then
brothers like you that we
well,
need more brothers to do all that.
I had some stuff I had to get off. I had some
Yeah.
stuff I had to get off.
Yeah.
Because me and my wife before we dated before for like 5 months, and I was like, wow, this is the best girlfriend I've ever had.
Yeah.
We have to break up because I couldn't be vulnerable with her. I
Oh
couldn't
wow. Yeah.
communicate how I felt,
Yeah.
and so I had to get that weight off. And
Yeah.
the counseling, the biblical recovery, and then me and her both went through
Yeah.
a little bit of counseling together.
Yeah.
Then we did premarital, and then we got married.
Wow. So you guys
So
really set yourself up for success. And I think more couples need to do that. Because I think people just get into marriage because you love the person, which is important to be in love. It's important, to have those butterflies and all that. That's important, but that's not what's going to sustain it. You need those tools. You need those things that are going to equip you to build a solid foundation that will help you to succeed. So that's good. And I think there's such a stigma, and unfortunately, in the African American community about counseling, about therapy. And we need to break that. So it's good to see a young brother who was intentional to go through therapy and counseling to prepare himself to succeed in his marriage. I applaud you for that. Really, I do. That's really good.
I appreciate it, but at the same time, like I said, I had some stuff I had to get off. But even now, I think now more than before, because maybe our parents or their parents, we didn't talk about certain things. We just took it in stride, and we just kept working, and we just kept going, and we felt down some days. We were depressed, and we didn't know why, or we didn't even put those words on it. But now I think now the community is doing a better job of increasing awareness.
Right, definitely.
So, yeah, but I had some stuff I had to deal with. For sure.
We all got stuff, we all have issues. So don't be hard on yourself. I know there's stuff I got to deal with too. So that's okay. Nothing to be hard on yourself. So for all the people who are single right now, when you were single, what do you wish someone told you? Like, if you could say one thing to someone who's single right now, who desires to be married, what would you say to them?
Well, one, I would say being single is just as great a gift as being married is.
That's good.
And my personal beliefs, I'm a man of faith and operating by the Bible. In the Bible, it says, I don't want to misquote, but I believe the scripture says that it's better to be single.
It is. It does say that.
To be single because the level of freedom you have to go and volunteer and to go take time and getting yourself together and to pursue your goals. You don't have to check in with anybody for that. My wife, but before we got back together, she was saying that she had these places she wanted to go and she wanted to travel. She likes traveling. And then she was saying before she could just do that, travel, whatever, didn't have to check in with anybody. But now that we're married, the priorities have realigned. I would say, I don't want to say shifted, but so to those people out there being single, I would say really enjoy the singleness and really take this time to get to know how you like for people to communicate to you. Get to know what your purpose really is. What are you really striving to do? Because if you identify this as a single, and you're in a place to where you're a whole human being as an individual, then you'll better be able to identify who potentially is meant to be your partner, because like, okay, I enjoy doing philanthropic things. And then you see somebody else over here, y'all are volunteering for the same events. Y'all are always at the same place. You're like, well, maybe I should get to know this person a little bit better. So I would say get to know self. I would say enjoy being single and identify what your purpose is, or identify passions, stuff that you enjoy.
That's good. That's good. So you being a biblical person, which I am also, I'm raised in a Christian faith. When I interview women, I ask them what their definition of submission, how submitting to your husband. So I ask them that question, how they submit, how difficult it is. 'Cause I feel like submission can be a hard thing, but it also, if you're submitting to the right man, there's a grace that comes with it and it's easier. So I'm going to ask you in the male perspective, what does loving your wife as Christ loves the church? What does that mean to you? How do you demonstrate it? How can a husband do that to their wife?
It looks like really being selfless. And like I said before, I'm still growing here. We're about to be 5 months in, and I'm still growing, and I'm not continuing to have to grow. But it looks like when she lets me know what her love language is, I don't love her in my love language. I love her the way that she desires to be loved and the way that she says that she wants to be loved. So that's one. Of course, another one is just seeing like how can I, what can I do for you today?
Right.
What do you need from me today? I first learned that going through therapy, and
Yeah.
and if we ask an individual or we ask our partner, what do you need from me today? That's me putting a clear request out there, and then giving the opportunity for a clear answer. Because a lot
Right.
of times we miss the mark, and I've been guilty of this. We miss the mark because I'm doing what I thought she wanted me to do, or
Right.
she's doing what she thinks I like, versus
Right.
us just taking the time and just ask straightforward questions and give
Right.
straight responses. So that would be my definition. But of course, it would be praying for her,
Yeah.
praying with her,
Yeah.
and taking the time to remove ourselves from the leadership roles
Yeah.
and understand that if we're together and we're joined under God, then
Yeah.
that means it's not necessarily what I want, but it's ultimately she's submitting to God through
Right.
me.
That's good.
Because
That's
I'm
good.
submitting to God, because I'm submitting to God, and
Yeah.
that's how I love her. So it's just like a trickle down effect.
That's good. And that's easier said than done, I'm sure.
It's a lot easier said than done. Believe me, it's a lot easier said, because especially when you get mad and then you want
Yeah.
to walk off, and
Yeah.
then because like when I was single, and I told my wife this, when I was single, the easiest thing for me to do would be to get mad at somebody and then
Yeah.
just leave. We don't have to talk about nothing. I don't
Right.
want to talk about nothing. I'm not gonna talk about nothing. But
Right.
now it's like, okay, you're mad. So, and if we don't get past this, then this is gonna affect everything else.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough, but it
You're
grows.
doing you're doing good. You're almost at that 6 month mark. Before you know it, it'll be a year. Before you know it, 6 years,
Yeah,
20
you're
years.
right. You're right. You're
You
right.
know? So that's good. All right. My other question for you, you kind of already answered it in what you wish, like what someone would tell you if you were single. You already
Mhm.
answered it, how you could be better. And I think you spoke about spending time with yourself, knowing your purpose, your drive, enjoying that single time. And so I think you answered it that way. So far in your marriage, in the 5 months, what have been 3 tools do you feel like has really helped you guys to succeed? How long did you date before? Did you date for length amount of time before you got married, or?
Yeah. So we dated 5 months the first time. We broke up for
Mhm.
3 years, 3 years, and
Wow.
we got back. Yeah, and then we got back, and then we dated for like
Yeah.
a year and some change, and we got engaged, and then we
Yeah.
got married.
Wow.
So,
That means it was meant to be, if despite like this space and the years and the time,
oh
God
yeah,
still had it planned. He's like, all right, you're not ready right now, but we'll get you fixed up a little bit.
no,
Maybe,
most definitely, yeah.
yeah.
He had to tune me up for sure. Um, but what tools? There's a lot. So the question is, what tools would I recommend for singles, or what tools I recommend for people who are seriously dating or dating?
Let's say seriously dating, because
Okay.
most of the people who contact me, they're in a relationship and they're trying to prepare themselves for that. So,
Okay. Wow. The first resource I would refer people to the Bible, and then
right.
I believe it's Ephesians 5.
Hmm.
When it talks about the way that we're supposed to love. I believe it's Ephesians 5. I don't know the exact scripture reference off the top of my head, but that would be the first place. And then from there's a few podcasts that I definitely want to recommend. One would be the Love Hour with Kev on Stage and Miss Kev on Stage.
Hmm.
That's a good podcast. Another one is How Married Are You?
Hmm.
Uh, with Belief in Fatherhood and Yvette. She goes by Mrs. Melanin.
Hmm.
Those two podcasts are great conversation starters because they address topics that people typically wouldn't discuss because we have the privilege of meeting them.
Right.
And they said that when they come on the podcast, it's authentic conversation because they haven't talked about these topics before.
Right.
So those two things, and the last thing I would say would be a book called Love and Respect.
Okay.
Love and Respect. And it talks about the synopsis of the book basically is women desire to be loved,
Yeah.
men desire to be respected. But the
Yeah.
way that they break it down in the book, as you're reading it, you're asking yourself, how does the author know me? You're like, the author doesn't know me. So this is the really good stuff.
Who's that? Love and Respect by who?
Love and Respect, is it over here? Right here. Okay. So it's by Dr. Emerson Eagle Rich.
I'm gonna have to read that. That's
Love and Respect.
uh,
It's a really, really, really good book.
yeah.
It's a really good book.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. All right, so that's pretty much it. I think you answered most of the basic questions, like the fundamentals, and I really appreciate that. I think just to summarize what we talked about, it's so important for us to work on ourselves before we get into marriage. Like, do the work to make sure you are satisfied. You know, you can't be dependent on this person to fulfill you. You have to be individually fulfilled first. Then once you're good, fulfilled by yourself, then somebody else can join you and you can grow together. So you did the work. You went through therapy, and I think a lot more people need to do that, because people have childhood trauma, you know, different things that they've experienced that will affect the way that they will love in the future. So for one, we got to work on ourselves before we get in, and then reading the books, you know, and having how do you have your friend social, like your circle of friends, has it changed as you
You said, say that one more time.
has your like circle of friends, has it changed as
Oh yeah, the circle of friends definitely has changed.
yeah,
There are. I mean, because when I was single, you know, I had my group of guys that I hung out with, and my wife had her group of young ladies that she hung out with.
right,
You know, there are some friends that we can hang together, we can commingle, but then
right,
there are also some times where, you know, you need those other couples
mm-hmm,
who are, you know, unbiased,
right,
but those are the couples that'll let you know, like, John, you were wrong about this,
right,
and you know, like, how can we work through this? So you have to have people that you can lean on, and you have to have people that will give you the truth, and then
right,
have people that if people have a faith background, or people who are of faith, then you
right,
have to have people that ultimately will direct you back to Scripture and say,
definitely,
if this is what you really believe, and this is what the Bible says, but
right,
you're acting outside of that,
right,
something's out of alignment. Either you
right,
don't believe what you really say you believe,
right,
or you just gotta be honest. You being selfish right now.
right,
You're being a little bit of a butt right now. So you know.
right, right. That's good. That's good.
Oh man,
All right.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jonathan. I really appreciate it. It's refreshing. It's like, okay, that's good. You know, like, and your wife is so blessed to have you. And
I'm
thank you
blessed to
for,
have her.
oh,
Trust me.
that's so sweet.
Oh my goodness, she's a trooper.
Yeah,
She is a trooper of a woman. We were talking the other day, and she definitely makes life easier for
that's
me, and the
good.
goal is to continue to do that same for her. So
There you go. It's a teamwork. All right.
definitely.
Again, I appreciate it. I will make sure to put your website, your Instagram, what's your
Thank you.
Twitter, you know, all your different things. I'll put that information. So if people want to reach out to you, they know how to get in contact with you. And also
Please.
you and your wives, do you have a vlog, or Together with the Jones, or
I mean, we can consider it a vlog-ish, but it's the platform is Instagram. So
Instagram?
we type longer posts on Instagram, but it's Together We Jones on Instagram, and that's just us sharing our life, the funny stuff,
Yeah.
the upsetting stuff, the real
Yeah.
stuff.
The
But
real
it's
stuff.
there. It's
That's
there.
awesome. But
Yeah.
nothing but God's blessings upon your union.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And
Of
same to
course.
you and with your relationship.
Oh, thank you. It's a
Oh,
journey.
definitely.
It's a progress.
I know. I know. Trust me. I
All
know.
right. You take care. Thanks again.
Thank you. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.